Good morning. I'm Jonathan Evans, City Manager, and I'm here with Chief Kurd and Captain Glenn Meyer from our Emergency Operations Center. And our intent behind this live update is to give you an update in the city of Riviera Beach, what we're doing concerning Hurricane Milton. All the information that you've been seeing from the National Weather Services as well as the local media about this storm is to be taken serious. The city of Riviera Beach yesterday issued an emergency declaration that was approved by the City Council and executed by the Mayor to allow for emergency authorities within the city of Riviera Beach. Operationally, the city has taken many efforts to ensure that the residents are safe, but some things that we want to make sure that you do to prepare for the storm is critical as your crews are out in the community trying to address the situation prior to the storm arriving. Please make sure that you go to the ATM and take out cash for the purposes of commerce. In the event there's no power, those ATM machines do not work. Please fuel your vehicles. If you do have electric vehicles, the city does have free electrical chargers if you have charge point accounts at the Riviera Beach Public Library and at the Marina Event Center, as well as the Ocean Walk. There is information that is out on city social media as well as on the city website. If there are things that you're seeing out in our community that are problematic or concerning pre and post the event, if you go to rivierabeach.org, you'll see a banner that says Hurricane Milton. That is a service request item that if you put information in there, that comes directly to the Emergency Operations Center and we can dispatch crews accordingly. Be safe, be vigilant. Please don't drive through standing water, and let us know of some of those low-lying problematic areas. Crews are making sure that every square mile in this community has at least city vehicles, multiple city vehicles that are traversing our community to make sure that we have the appropriate understanding of the conditions out there. We're working with our solid waste provider to be able to address large trash, waste, and debris throughout the community. But please do not place items out there that are going to become projectiles and are going to be problematic as it relates to this storm. At this particular moment, I'm going to provide Chief Kurd the opportunity to share a little bit more specificities concerning the hurricane, and then also Captain Meyer will get into some of the operational things that we're doing. Chief Kurd?
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Good morning, Riviera Beach. Here we are again, hurricane season. We've been having these conversations with the community over the last couple of months, making sure that our preparations are in order for a storm just like this. I kind of want to touch on some of the impacts that this storm is going to have specifically on Riviera Beach. You may be watching some of the local media that might be talking about some of the Tri-County areas. We just really want to kind of zero in on Riviera Beach and what we could see. Currently, right now, there is a tropical storm watch for Palm Beach County, meaning that there is a potential for tropical storm winds in our area over the next 24 to 48 hours. However, don't get caught up in what the warnings are today. We can see simply over the last 24 hours, this storm has changed dramatically in size and intensity, and we've also seen some changes in the arrival time. There is also a flood watch for all of South Florida, and that is in effect from now until Thursday. I just want to go through a couple of these slides to talk about that we've obtained from the National Weather Service to talk about those impacts we can expect here in Riviera Beach. The wind impacts could be expected midday Wednesday through Thursday. This is a slight bit of a change from what we were hearing yesterday, expecting the weather to deteriorate this evening. The storm has actually slowed down, and we're not going to see some of these impacts until tomorrow, which for us, slightly good news in that it gives us this extra time to make any necessary preparations that we may have not made in the last 24 to 48 hours. Storm surge and inundation, flood inundation, not a concern for the city of Riviera Beach or Singer Island. This storm is approaching from the west. There are no watches, no warnings, and no expectation of storm surge in our area. Flooding rain, on the other hand, is a completely different story. Now through Thursday, the weather that we're seeing today is not associated with the storm. It's part of a tropical system making its way across Florida, and we will experience that tropical system throughout the rest of today, and we will not see impacts from Hurricane Milton until tomorrow. So it's kind of a double whammy for us, with the grounds being saturated over the last 24 and into the next 48 hours, and then the arrival of a hurricane could be problematic when it comes to flooding rain. We're going to ask our community to stay off the roadways, making sure that you don't drive through any standing water, and make sure you stay vigilant as it relates to the amount of flooding rain that we could see. Tornado possibilities. There always is a potential. There is a potential late tonight through Thursday morning, with tomorrow being the most significant time for a potential. While it is not a severe or extreme potential, there is always that potential. And then we also have several marine warnings up in our area. It is anticipated that the city of Riviera Beach will be closing its municipal beach tomorrow and possibly Thursday, but we want to make sure that in an abundance of caution, we are protecting our community. So we will be putting out additional information, but I can't assure you that tomorrow the beach will be closed, and we will be updating on any additional closures as we move through the next 24 to 48 hours. One of the important things that I wanted to take a look at is the wind forecast probability for our area. Some of the wind speeds that we can see increasing throughout the day tomorrow, late Wednesday night and into Thursday morning in Palm Beach County, is those sustained winds in that 30 to 40 mile an hour range. We could also see the potential for wind gusts upwards of 50 to 60 miles an hour. There is a 60% chance here in Riviera Beach and in Palm Beach County that we could see tropical storm force winds. The probabilities drop as it relates to high-end tropical storm force winds down to 15%, and the possibility for hurricane wind speeds in our area is merely 5%. We don't want you to get focused in on these numbers. Tornadoes are an outlier. This storm has been very erratic as it relates to its intensification, and now we've seen it go from a Cat 5 to a Cat 4. It is anticipated that the storm will lose additional strength as it makes landfall. That is our hope, and that is our prayers for those individuals on the West Coast. But one of the things we will see in the information we're getting from the National Weather Service is that while the storm may lose intensity, we could see the wind field grow exponentially. So we could actually see more significant impacts to our area related to the size of the wind field as it grows, moving eastward over across the peninsula. Looking closely at the times, I kind of want to give you these times, and again, none of these are steadfast times, but to the best of the information that we have, the most likely reasonable time for weather to approach our area is going to be tomorrow towards the latter part of the day. That's when we're going to start to see conditions deteriorate throughout the evening on Wednesday, into Thursday morning, and into the morning on Thursday as sun rises. We expect conditions to improve throughout the day on Thursday, but we probably will start off with bad weather on Thursday. So make your final preparations today. You may have just a couple of hours tomorrow morning, and then that's when we're going to be asking our individuals to shelter at home in place to make sure they're not out on the roadways and putting themselves in harm's way. Some of the other things that are occurring as it relates to what's happening in Palm Beach County, there are conversations that are happening right now at the county level to determine if and when shelters will be opening. Please stay tuned to our social media, and we will also be providing another briefing this afternoon once that information is a little clearer and a little more concise as it relates to the shelters opening and what their locations are. For individuals who may be traversing our community around the east and north end up through Palm Beach Gardens, and those individuals who may own vessels, the bridges in Palm Beach County will be locked in the down position beginning at noon today. So if you have not yet taken your vessel that requires bridge openings, it is probably going to be too late for for you to traverse north or south, as those bridges will remain closed. Also, another bit of information that we received is Brightline services will be suspended from the West Palm station to Orlando both Wednesday and Thursday at this time. That could extend, but as of right now, there will be no service northbound from West Palm. There is anticipated service from West Palm south into Dade County, but you will not be able to traverse or utilize Brightline services north into Orlando. We will, at the EOC here, will continue to monitor the storm. We have several briefings throughout the day, and we hope to wrap up today with one final briefing, preparing us for this evening, and then begin these briefings again tomorrow, making sure that our community has the latest and up-to-date information. With that, I'd like to turn it over to our Emergency Center Operations Chief, Captain Glenn Meyer.
Captain Glenn Meyer with the Riviera Beach Police Department. First and foremost, I want to remind all of our residents that we're dedicated in making sure that all of our residents and visitors remain safe during this storm. We want to ensure that when you're traveling on roadways, you recognize that they may be flooded and pose a danger to motorists. So please use extreme caution in low-lying areas. Rest assured that our Public Works Department is putting signage out at those locations that we determine are flood prone, and we will place those barricades up when those conditions warrant such. A few of the other items that we wanted to discuss was the sandbag distribution site. As many of you know, 2409 Avenue H West, which is the Wells Recreation Site, is a sand distribution site. To date, we have currently given out 2,700 bags. Yesterday, we disseminated 1,890 bags. Today, we disseminated 810 bags, and we have another delivery that's expected any moment bringing sand. The requirement for that is that you enter at the West 20th Street and Avenue H West entrance. There's a holding area for vehicles. Law enforcement will direct you to that location when you arrive. And then as time allows and we disseminate the bags, we will have you move inside of the area at that point. So we appreciate everyone's patience with that. You do have to have a City of Riviera Beach identification on your driver's license, designating that you're a resident of the city, and we will give you 10 bags as supplies last. So our hope is that we're able to continue that throughout this evening. With that being said, we also do have information from Good Companies that they will be operating on a normal collection schedule today and tomorrow. We did hear that Thursday's collection will be suspended, and they will resume that on Monday. Please understand that those directives can be subject to change based on safety and security, wind speed, and other conditions. We want to remind residents that if they do have any type of yard waste outside of their residence after that point, to secure that so that it does not become a projectile in the event we do experience higher winds. Also, rest assured that the Riviera Beach Fire Rescue and Police Department is committed to maintaining the safety of all the residents in the city. We're here to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year-round. That's no different when it comes to a storm. So please remember that as well. And in addition to that, I'd like to close with understanding that other areas in the state of Florida are likely going to be impacted from this storm. We want to make sure that we are praying for our neighbors and that we are there to help them once this storm arrives. They're definitely going to be in need of our assistance. With that being said, Utilities is working very diligently on making sure that all their operations are functional, and we don't have any concerns as of this time with that either. Mr. Evans?
Again, thank you for everyone taking the time to watch these updates. Just some closing remarks. Obviously, this is a major storm that is going to impact the state of Florida. You've heard from legislators, you've heard from the governor, you've heard from the president. This is something that we all need to be aware of. We do anticipate some inclement weather, and so the best thing that you can do as a resident of a community or as a business in this community is take the necessary safety precautions to take care of your family unit, and then we will come around and make sure that we do to protect and preserve the safety of our community. Some things that I want to make sure that you are aware of: if you haven't subscribed to our Code Red services, you can do so by texting RB Alerts to 999 get information from the City of Riviera Beach on anything related to the storm in the event that we have to provide information concerning subsequent closures. We will put out information as soon as we get additional information from other municipalities concerning the beach and the beach closures possibilities. Also, normal city operations will continue unless otherwise provided for. And so we will put out information, but one thing that will be a priority of us is, in the event that the conditions deteriorate, we will be shutting down some city operations and making sure our staff can get home safely. Also, for further updates, please visit our social media. Please look at our website. If you are in our community and have Channel 18, please follow the information that's provided for in the banner. That is the most up-to-date information that we will be pushing out. We will make sure that our community is informed every step of the process. Also, one thing that you've probably received already is that Palm Beach County schools are suspending school services for Wednesday and Thursday. And also, one of the things that the City of Riviera Beach is providing, our main line, 561-845-4000, that number after 5 o'clock goes to our call center. That is a 24-hour operation. So in the event that you see something that happens within the evening, you can call the call center. Our call takers will take that information and they will route that information back to the Emergency Operations Center so we can address those particular issues. Also, please make sure that if there's things that you see, the banner that's on the city's website, that's our Q Alert system. That is a great tool to let us know what you're seeing in your respective neighborhoods. And if the conditions are okay, we'll make sure that our appropriate personnel can go out and address the situation. Please make sure that you know that our staff is here 24 hours to be able to support and assist you through this particular process. We are a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation, and so we have persons that are monitoring the communications consistently to make sure that we can respond. We will continue to disseminate sand as long as we can get sand, and I want to tell you, your staff has been working very hard to ensure that we're doing everything to prepare for our community, sourcing sand all the way from Orlando that's here in Riviera Beach. So I'm proud of the effort of the team, and thank you to the policymakers and the elected officials for helping us through this process and giving us the resource to make sure that you all are informed through this process. So subsequent updates will be coming out later on in the evening. We are tracking this storm, but please utilize the media outlets that are out there providing real-time information about these conditions. But please do not get lulled into a sense of security. Do not take this for granted. The weather conditions right now are okay, but they will get worse into the day, and so please be conscientious of that. If you see any obstruction of storm drains, please let us know. Please do not park your vehicle in front of storm drains and any problematic areas. The way we can address those issues is communication.